Okay, today we're going to talk about the Daiichi Offset Worm Hooks. So we have a wide variety of sizes ranging from 1/0 all the way up to a 5/0. And generally when I'm matching this up with a worm, I try to get away with as big a hook as I can without taking up too much of the action. Now you see, if you take a big hook like this and you put it on a worm that is a short little worm, what you're gonna do is that hook's gonna take up too much of the worm, and it's gonna make that worm real straight. That worm's not gonna be able to wiggle and do what it wants to do. So I'd go with a smaller hook that isn't gonna go the full length of that worm. I just want to take up just a little bit so that tail can still wiggle. Now let's talk real difference between an offset worm hook and an EWG hook, which is an extra wide gap hook. First, I'm gonna rig them both up and show you. We've got the offset worm hook rigged up on a little straight tail worm here, and then the EWG rigged up on a creature bait. Now, the idea of an EWG hook is that extra wide gap. So when you set the hook, that hook has a lot of hook to get through. You can still get a good hook set on the fish. Whereas if you have this offset worm hook, it doesn't have as big a gap. And so what's gonna happen is you're not gonna have much hook. Once this thing sets into a creature bait, you're not gonna have as much sticking through, and you're not gonna get as good a hook set, and you're gonna not land as many fish, right? So, but you go, why wouldn't I throw EWGs with all my baits then? And the reality is the offset worm hooks, the fish, as they come up and eat this bait, sometimes that wide hook will get caught. So as they suck that in, that worm won't go all the way into the mouth, and when you set the hook, you're actually just ripping the bait out. So you've got these little, the hook that doesn't give a bigger profile, so when that fish goes and sucks it in, you're not having that big hook hang down. There's also some tracking. This worm gets a little bit better tracking. It's just a closer, tighter little bait. And whereas this EWG can get caught on limbs, there's just other things that come along. So people that throw straight tail worms, there's a wide variety of stuff you can throw with this. With any kind of creature baits or a thicker plastic, you're gonna wanna go with that EWG. But with these little thin plastic worms, a offset worm hook like the Daiichi Offset Worm Hooks will work great, and having a wide variety of sizes to make sure that you're not going to mess up the action of the worm is crucial. Good luck, guys.
We'll be right back.